to another Josh K Guitar video. Josh here at your service. Please do click the like and subscribe button. I'd like to talk today about what not to do at your first guitar lesson, and really maybe like first 2 guitar lessons, okay? So at least don't do this to us guitar teachers in our first 2 lessons. These are our pet peeves. We hate these things. So please don't do this in your first guitar lesson. First thing, don't show up without a guitar, okay? Don't think it's just going to be like we're going to sit and talk for our first lesson and then like not get our hands dirty at all. Get ready. We're going to play. You're going to put your hands on the strings. You're going to press the notes down to the frets. We're going to get down and dirty and play some guitar. If you don't have access to a guitar, and I get it, not all of us can get a guitar, but if you don't have access to one, tell us, like way in advance. We will either help you so that you can get one, we can send links so that you can get access to one, or hey, if you can't do any of that, I have guitars laying around my house. Most guitar teachers have something, okay? And we would rather that you show up and be able to play something instead of like showing up and having to like hand our beautiful instruments over to you without being prepared to do that. And that said, just real quick plug, I am playing this Laudo prototype still. I don't have it for much longer, so I'm just playing it as much as I possibly can because I love this guitar. It's such a beautiful guitar. Pete did such an awesome job with it, and it's like kind of a rarity. This one's not ever going to be sold. Like this is what he shows people. Like, hey, this was the first one, and we're doing them even cooler now. So, but when I do give this back, I'm going to have a cool updated one to show you. But that said, I just love this guitar so much. I don't want to not play it, as much as I can. All right, so enough about that. But just please try and at least tell us that you're not going to have a guitar, and then we can at least be prepared for how to handle it. And sometimes, hey, we do share. You know what I mean? But that said, I'd like to know in advance so that we can actually play at the same time, because if we can't do that, it actually is a little bit of a hindrance, I think, in our first lesson, at least in person. So that said, show up with an instrument, be able to play something, or communicate to us when you can. Second thing, don't come to our lesson and say, oh, I don't have time. And especially like in the second lesson, don't be like, ooh, I didn't have time this week. Because the things that we're doing in our first 2 weeks do not require a lot of time. In fact, I recommend to most people that they spend no more than 5 minutes at a time. And if they want to do a couple of times a day and you want to put in 15 minutes or something, or 25, 30, that's cool. But do it in 5-minute increments. That way you're not burning yourself out. And I have a few cases now over the years where students get really ambitious. They want to get really good really fast. And so they practice 2 hours every day. And what happens is your hands aren't used to that. And when your hands aren't used to that, you will cramp up, you can cause yourself injury, and so you just don't want to do that to yourself. You want to be really, really kind to your fingers and to your body through this process. Yes, it takes a while to build up all the time, but that's the best way to do it, and that's the easiest way to digest the information. And that way, again, you don't burn yourself out on it too. And guess what? Everybody has 5 minutes. If you don't have 5 minutes, if you're making the time to come to guitar lessons every week, and you're making the time to have access to the instrument and all the responsibilities associated with that, like changing strings and all that stuff that you're going to have to do, then you have 5 minutes, that you can just do that. Most people, if they watch TV at all, you can accomplish this in your commercial break, okay? So, no excuses, 5 minutes every day, and especially on that second lesson, make sure you have put in 5 minutes of the homework that your teacher gave you on lesson 1 every single day so that you have a little bit of that together. So don't expect to, oh, I'm busy, I don't have any time, because the time we're asking is minimal. Number 3, don't show up with no goal, right? Why are you here? Why are you at guitar lessons? I have a lot, actually, that don't know why they studied. And, you know, nowadays that's changing more and more. I have people that come in and actually play great already and just have a goal that they want to either get into a music school or they're trying to get into a band and they're not sure, you know, how to audition or, you know, I'm getting some students who have some actual real goals. But I had for many years, especially with, sorry to the younger kids, but with younger kids, they didn't know, like, who any guitar players were. And I'm like, who's your favorite guitar player? Why are you here? What makes you want to play guitar? And it's like, I don't know, mom told me to do it, right? So we have to do like a lot of deep diving and listening to even figure out what those students want. And like I have some, they were with me for like 2 years. And I was showing them stuff, and they're like, no, this is too fast, this is too loud, this is too this is too that. And then finally discover, oh, I just really like the music from this movie, or like from this TV show that I watch, or this video game that I play, something really, really obscure. But that stuff is music. And if that's your goal, is to be able to play like that, then you need to tell us. Because otherwise, I'm going to give you blues, and I'm going to give you jazz, and I'm going to maybe give you some scale shapes, and I'm going to give you some chord shapes, and I'm going to maybe pull out a book and make you learn to read music. You know what I mean? I'm going to do all of those things, and if none of those things are your goal, then I can't give you assignments that are going to help you reach said goal. So, and that leads to, like, not using a system. Once you decide what you want to learn, you have to trust the process, and you have to trust that there's a system to get there. Some songs are so easy that I can just write out the tab and send you on your way and you can go. Other songs, you have to learn some intense finger patterns to understand how to do it. If you're trying to learn Van Halen, there's no way it happens on day one. We have to learn about shapes and like triads and things, and probably a few scales and some scale exercises. Like all of those things are really, really important to what was in that music, you know? If you want to come in and just play tabs, that's something different. But in that case, we're going to definitely talk about like the deeper aspects. Here's how you get proper tone. Here's what's going on in that particular recording. Here are the techniques employed. He's bending this string here. How is your string bending, right? All of those things, any of the things that are your goal, right, is what us teachers are going to use to inform our method in how we teach you. And for me, that's some of the most fun work of teaching, is like everybody's got a different goal and everybody's got different strengths and different weaknesses. So me sussing out what are your strengths so that you can lean into that with your music, and also what are your weaknesses? What do I need to really, really hammer on for homework for you to strengthen those things that are weak so that they are no longer weaknesses. They're now other strengths that you can tap into, and then you become a stronger player, a stronger character, yeah? So that said, don't show up with no goals. Don't be ready to like just use no system and just jam and noodle and then we learn how to play guitar. That's not what anybody wants. We want you to get better. That's like our job as a teacher, is to make you a better player. So if you don't go with those things, then we can't really do our job so good. So that's it. 3 things. Show up with a guitar. Show up ready to put in 5 minutes every day. And show up with a goal, a tangible goal. I want to read music. I want to learn how to play like this guitar player. I want to learn how to play jazz. I want to understand samba music. Like, come in with some goal in mind, and then we can go. Anyways, that said, that's going to be all for today's video. What not to do at your first lesson. You're going to want to stay tuned because I'm going to continue my series on Deal by the Grateful Dead. We're going to talk about how to play all the chords. We're going to talk about how to solo over the thing. And the next 2 videos are going to go through all of that stuff. So stay tuned. Again, click that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments which other songs you'd like to get analyzed, and we'll go ahead and do them. All right, I'll see you in the next one.